There is no easy way to say this or to talk about any of this, but late last year, our daughter Whimsy got diagnosed with cancer.
No, I'm not having this many kids because I'm Mormon. I'm not Mormon. I just wanted to be a young mom and do everything while I was really young, and I think that's just a personal preference for me. I did a lot of the things that people in their 20s do when I was a teenager.
What if I told you one heartbreaking family update has somehow exploded into one of the internet's messiest celebrity controversies? That's exactly where Nara Smith finds herself after sharing news that blindsided millions. She uploaded a 2.5-minute video revealing that her 2-year-old daughter, Whimsy Lou, was diagnosed with cancer late last year. The emotional announcement instantly filled her comments with prayers, support, and heartbreaking messages from people around the world. But the sympathy didn't last long. Within hours, the conversation took a shocking turn, and instead of everyone standing beside her during such an unimaginable nightmare, a fierce online debate suddenly erupted. Even more surprising, many people claim the harsh criticism is reportedly coming from individuals within her own Mormon community. But that's not even the part sending social media into absolute meltdown mode. The real controversy centers on her husband, Lucky Blue Smith. Fans quickly noticed that while Nara Smith was facing relentless criticism online, Lucky remained completely silent across his own social media accounts. He didn't post a statement, defend his wife, or publicly respond to the growing backlash in any way. That silence has left countless people wondering what is really happening behind closed doors. Why does it seem like Lucky is staying quiet while his wife faces one of the most painful moments of her life? Is there something the public doesn't know? Or is his silence speaking louder than words? To understand why emotions are running so high, you first have to look at the heartbreaking video itself. Nara Smith explained that she and Lucky noticed something unusual about their little daughter, Whimsy Lou, and immediately rushed her to the emergency room. At first, they hoped it might be something minor, but everything changed once they met with a pediatrician. According to Nara Smith, the doctor suddenly became unusually quiet after examining their daughter. Anyone who has ever experienced that uncomfortable moment when a medical professional suddenly stops talking knows exactly how terrifying it feels. In that instant, they realized this situation was far more serious than they had ever imagined.
When we saw something suspicious on her, we took her to the ER and they didn't quite know what to make of it. So when we took her into our pediatrician, I just remember him going really quiet and calm, and my heart dropped in that moment. I don't know whether it was my gut telling me something or just a mom's intuition, but the first thing that I felt was she has cancer.
After a series of x-rays, ultrasounds, and a biopsy, doctors finally confirmed every parent's worst nightmare. The cancer had already spread to other parts of Whimsy Lou's body, leaving no room to wait. She had to begin chemotherapy immediately, and the heartbreaking announcement sent shockwaves across social media. Nara Smith's video quickly went viral, pulling in more than 25 million views as millions of people stopped to watch her emotional update. The situation becomes even more devastating when you remember that Nara Smith is only 24 years old and was already dealing with all of this while recovering postpartum after welcoming her 4th child, Bonnie Golden, in October 2025. As if that wasn't overwhelming enough, she was also caring for her other children, Rumble Honey and Slim Easy, while spending countless hours at the hospital by Whimsy Lou's side. One emotional supporter summed it up perfectly, writing, "Mothers truly are superheroes. I honestly don't know how she does it working, providing for her family, making meals from scratch, raising multiple children, supporting one little girl through chemotherapy, all while battling lupus herself." That comment perfectly captured why so many people were left stunned by everything she has reportedly been carrying at once.
I started off by making my mozzarella cheese. I added some
Nara, sweets, I have one thing that I'm like begging you to start doing, but you need to start giving us the backstory. Like, Where the hell did you learn to make mozzarella? Where does one learn to make mozzarella cheese?
You would think a heartbreaking story like this would receive nothing but love and support, right? At first, that's exactly what happened. Huge celebrities rushed into Nara Smith's comment section to send prayers and encouragement. We're talking about names like Ryan Destiny, Charlie Puth, Leona Lewis, and Holla Bailey, all showing love to Nara Smith and her family during such an unimaginable crisis. One person who admitted they didn't even follow Nara Smith wrote, "I don't even follow her, but my heart absolutely breaks for this family. I'm praying for her and that beautiful little girl." Another commenter added, "She does everything she possibly can to keep her family healthy." This is beyond heartbreaking. For a moment, it really seemed like the entire internet had united behind her. Comments like those flooded every platform. And despite all the previous controversy surrounding Nara Smith, most people agreed on one thing. Their hearts were with her and little Whimsy Lou. But that wave of sympathy didn't last very long. Before anyone realized it, the conversation shifted in a completely different direction. To understand why everything suddenly became so controversial, you have to understand the online image Nara Smith has carefully built over the years. She's best known for her calm, beautifully filmed cooking videos where she makes almost everything completely from scratch, whether it's baking homemade graham crackers or preparing cheese from raw milk. That wholesome lifestyle has constantly linked her to the traditional wife or trad wife community, especially because Lucky Blue Smith was raised in a deeply traditional Mormon family.
For lunch, my toddlers asked for a snack plate. Since they're usually not big snackers, I decided to just make them one. They love hard pretzel sticks lately, so that's what I got started with. Once my dough came together, I kneaded it and let it rise for about an hour and a half.
Now here's where this story takes an even more unexpected turn. Mormon culture has long been known for mommy bloggers who openly share huge parts of their family lives online. Hospital visits, children's illnesses, difficult moments, and even requests for community prayers are all things many families openly post about. So for a lot of people, that level of sharing isn't unusual at all. Nara Smith even explained that she decided to tell her daughter's story because she hoped it would comfort other parents and encourage families to trust their instincts and seek medical attention whenever something doesn't feel right. But instead of ending the conversation, that decision only poured gasoline on the fire. Fans immediately turned their attention to Lucky Blue Smith's social media, expecting him to publicly stand beside his wife. Since his family is well known within the Mormon community, many assumed he would release a statement or at least defend Nara Smith against the growing wave of criticism. Instead, there was absolutely nothing. Complete silence. And naturally, that silence sent the internet into full detective mode. Suddenly, people began dissecting every detail of their marriage, trying to figure out what was really happening behind the scenes. Some believe Lucky Blue Smith is facing pressure from his family or church to keep private matters out of the spotlight. Others keep asking why it looks like Nara Smith is carrying all of the public criticism alone. That's exactly why this controversy refuses to die. For many people, it's also changing the way they view the whole tradwife lifestyle. It's easy to admire picture-perfect meals, beautiful kitchens, and happy family moments when life is going smoothly. But once a genuine family crisis appears, people start asking where all that support has gone. Instead of embracing one of their own, critics seem more interested in tearing Nara Smith apart, and that hasn't sat well with many observers. As of now, neither Nara Smith nor Lucky Blue Smith has directly addressed the growing controversy, and Lucky still hasn't explained why he has remained publicly silent throughout the backlash. That unanswered question continues to dominate the conversation. While countless people are praying for little Whimsy Lou's recovery, many are also questioning the judgment, the criticism, and why Nara Smith appears to be carrying the public burden almost entirely on her own. So now it's your turn to weigh in. Do you think Nara Smith was wrong for sharing part of her daughter's journey? Or was she simply doing what many frightened parents would do while searching for hope and support? Is the concern about privacy justified? Or are people unfairly targeting a mother during one of the hardest chapters of her life? And what do you make of Lucky Blue Smith's silence? Is he quietly protecting his family behind the scenes? Or does his lack of a public response create the wrong impression? Share your thoughts in the comments, but please keep the discussion respectful because this story involves a young child. Above everything else, the only outcome that truly matters is seeing Whimsy Lou make a full recovery.